So you may not be aware that Gear Gods has a podcast, and because of this, we are going to be putting together a mobile podcasting rig using all this awesome gear that we got on Sweetwater. So now you're gonna get to watch us put together a mobile podcasting rig on the cheap right now from all this awesome gear. Check it out. It's Labor Day. We're having a day off, so I'm just in my flippy floppies. But we present to you the Pod Pile, which will soon, in conjunction with this IKEA table, become our mobile world domination podcast.
Robot, maybe.
Podbot. The Podbot. All we've got is this, and hopefully that'll be enough.
And our guns.
And a little bit of fucking elbow grease, and exactly 2 hours before we have to do an actual podcast episode with this.
What are we doing?
So it really better work. Hey guys, real quick, just wanted to let you know that during the first 2 weeks of October, Sweetwater is having a gigantic sale on all things specifically made for content creators. That means that everything you see in this video is gonna be on sale, and I've put a link in the description where you can get to all that stuff on the Sweetwater website. Now, back to the video. All right, first and most importantly, we've got the Rodecaster Pro. This is like kind of an all-in-one mixer, recorder, and sound sampler pad. That's a lot of things for one thing to do, but this is gonna be the brain of the entire operation. Obviously we're opening it now, I haven't tried it yet, but if it does everything that it claims, it's essential to having a podcast. Basically, up until now, for recording our podcast, we've been using just a mishmash of random crap. We've been using this MixPre 6, which is really great, but all it does is record, and it's kind of overly complex for doing what we want to do. This is supposed to be just dead simple, one button record, no bullshit, and
literally as big as they could make it.
Record
button.
It's for idiots like us. It's got just 4 individual headphone outs and a volume for each one, 4 preamps and XLR inputs, faders for every track, and then so one for each microphone, and then for USB in, phone in, like a mobile device in, Bluetooth, and then for these pads where you can set up your own samples so that during the thing you can like if you want. All right, let's get these arms going. The arms! Yes. So what we have here are PSA-1 studio arms from Rode. These are supposedly extremely beefcake, which is good because we want to have this just ready to go at all times and set up. We're not going to do anything other than fold the arms in and just grab the thing and stick it in the car. So these have to be extremely strong and tough.
Ready for the road.
In order to attach the microphone to the arm, we have the PSM-1 shock mount, also from Rode. This is gonna hold these bad boys. This is one of the most important parts of the whole thing. The actual microphones. Of course, you can't record into nothing. No matter how loud I shout, it's not gonna pick up if you don't have some kind of vibrating diaphragm. So to that end, we've got these Rode Procaster mics, which are really awesome. There is a cheaper option from Rode, the Pod mics, which are a little bit smaller and about half the price at $100. Yeah, so that's pretty cool, but have you ever tried DMT? Now it's time to plug these bad boys in with some Proco cables that we got at Sweetwater. I think these cables are definitely too long, but it's better to have too long than too short. In order for everyone who is participating in the podcast to be able to hear everybody else and themselves, you're gonna need headphones for each person. So we've got these Shure SRH 440s. These are like really good, comfy budget headphones. They're not super expensive. It's not like you're mastering music when you do these, you know what I mean? They don't have to be super duper high quality, but they have to be comfortable enough for you to wear them for a long time because, well, depending on how long your podcast is, you need some pretty good ones. But because this is going to be mobile, we have to not worry about them getting dinged a bit or bumped or, you know, scratched or whatever. They have to be not so much money that we're going to cry if they break. All right, one trip to Home Depot and one Home Depot hot dog later, we've come back with some Velcro to stick this to the table. We've got some of these. These are literally just drawer handles, but we're going to use these to keep our cables organized. And then we've also got some hooks for the underside of the table that we'll be able to hook our headphones onto. And obviously these things aren't really what they're intended for, but that's what's great about doing it yourself is that if it works, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't have to look good because in general, this won't be on video. Ta-da! All right, so it's not 100% yet because we literally have to go right now to test it out. We're about to have a guest on the podcast, and this is going to be a trial by fire. I'm not really excited to find out any problems of design that we've built into this, but I guess it's the best way to figure out if it works or not. We're going to videotape an episode of the podcast, and you're going to be able to watch it right now, right here. So just click on that, and we'll see you real soon.